Good morning, Vietnam. How we doing, James? You good? I've got a little makeshift setup at the moment, so no mic, no double screen, just good old-fashioned laptop on the go, like a true digital nomad. So mic quality is probably not going to be as good. Wi-Fi is not as good. Can't doss around in the background while I'm on mute on my second screen getting shit done. Just one screen only. So for the chat, I'm gonna have to use this. Yeah, raw dogging it, mate. Raw dogging it in Vietnam. Got a few experience stories to chat about. Getting scammed, getting fucking Airbnb scammed twice. Wow, ruthless. But yeah, before I do, let me send out the link for everyone. Let's go. It's the lounge. We are live. Come join as we trade the London session in real time. Bosh. Cool. Yeah, so starting things off, you can see the Asian high got swept on both the euro and the pound, which is nice. And then we're going to change the character to the downside with price targeting that Asian low. If we look at this on our latest algo that we're working on, this is still not perfected. A few variables that we're trying to figure out is the fractals, so like plotting the actual highs and lows and what time frame they want to work on, basically. So I would say for this one, we want this to be the change of character. Oh, actually it's not, because it was wicked. So I guess, yeah, this would be the actual change of character, because this would be the low that needed to break, and those were just wicks of it. So yeah, this is correct. The breakout version of this that we've got is making really good progress. So the breakout version is basically where after that change of character and we have a 2-minute candle close, it will just basically fulfill a sell stop with stop loss couple ticks above the high, and then target, which is variable at the moment. I want to keep this as variable until we've got it finished, so then we can actually simulate a back test and see which is the best version of this. But here we can target based on the opposite range, or we can target based on a risk to reward. So this is making really nice progress. Once we've got this code like perfected, there's a few things that we want to work on, mainly the retracement version of it as well. See, this one needs work. So that wouldn't have been where we look to start trading. It would have still been that one because we needed the close. Even though that one would have had a nice profitable trade, it wasn't actually correct because that didn't close beneath. So the retracement version still needs work, but the breakout version I'm almost happy with, just a few tweaks needed. We'll target the opposite session range. Let's check how it's looking on the pound. So this one on the pound is even better. We've got these highs and lows that have been plotted. It swept the high, made a low. Now this is where the fractals come into play, because it's like, do you want to class these as lows and highs? Because they're not like the swing low and swing high of that move, as you'd say. So this is where you can change the fractals around a little bit, and this is basically what is still needing more work on, in my opinion. Although these versions right now, like, yeah, they have printed some nice profitable trades and stuff, but they're just not how I would want to run it. Targeting 2R would have hit TP for a nice 2% on this version. But yeah, it's stuff that we're keeping as variable at the moment. We're not giving this as like a set, this is the strategy. The way that I want to make this algo is by allowing a lot of different variables, so then we can actually optimize it and see, okay, is this variation best, is this variation the best? So you can see here, this version actually does just plot everything that like an indicator would class as a high and a low, rather than the actual like lows and highs and lows and highs. Because yeah, I would originally say to just take those swing levels, but we can also see by allowing the just the fractal highs and lows to be used as well. Curious if we had that on euro, what would euro have looked like today? Because sometimes that can trigger sells when you or positions, should I say, when you don't actually want them. So if we look at like stuff like this, you can see if you class every little move as a high and a low, it's just not accurate. So yeah, nice little insight for you guys here on what we're working on behind the scenes. Because I wouldn't want that to be a low that then you start to sell through. Like for me, it is this low that is more important. So for that, we're looking at something like this, which I showed you the first time around. And then it's about, do we want to just target the opposite range? Sometimes that can provide you with a lower R. So for example, this one right now is only like a 1.5, sorry. But sometimes that can be a big TP. So that actually has a lot of different variants in that one option. So yeah, basically what we're working on at the moment. The foundation for it is there. It's just optimizing it and tweaking it, I guess. But yeah, there's a whole load of different variations involved and different opinions on how to trade the Asian session. I think one thing that I've seen that's quite different about my approach is the actual definition of the Asian session, which I think mine is like the most rigid and sound of them all, where I just class the Asian session as the overlap between Tokyo and Sydney. That's how I was taught it, and that is like, for me, I can see how that is clear, and that is like the Asian session. But I know some people have like a set definition of hours where they'll say like midnight to 5 or 1 to 5 or 6 or something like that. But for me, you can see clearly that this is where, you know, you start to end the session in reverse, where Tokyo and Sydney overlap finished. So yeah, that's something that we can have as variable as well and see which one works best. Compared to it being like a this is right and this is wrong, it's more about, okay, which version has produced the best results over the past however many years. That's a much better way to settle that argument. But yeah, nothing from a EMA intraday perspective, there's nothing really to trade right now. We've got a direction, but you don't just want to pop a sell on for the sake of it. Like, you want more confluences to make it a higher probability trade. GU is about to take out that Asian low. See what we're all saying. Morning CM, hope you're well. Will this be available on the plug and play? Yes, it will. So we'll have a plug and play version and we'll have an algo version. The plug and play version, so as you saw from there, we've got a breakout version and we're working on a retracement version where instead of just like placing a sell stop there, it'll look for it to fill a retracement of that wave and then short it again, which can be variable, you know, 38.2, 50, 61.8, 71, whatever you want to input in that. So it will be like an input section, and then obviously you can pair that with the strategy tester to see which one works best, as well as just different characteristics of them. Like, some of them will catch more entries and have more trades in the short term if you're looking to make short-term profits, which I know as a trading standpoint, you kind of just want to go for like the best returns over the long run. But if you're trading on prop firms, sometimes it's nice to just secure payouts quicker as well. And that's kind of, for me, the biggest factor in determining, would you rather have a low win rate system which makes the most amount of profits, but obviously short-term performance is less likely to be profitable, than compared to a high win rate system that long-term has less profitability than the other option, but obviously with a higher win rate comes a higher likelihood that you're going to have short-term success. So when you're trading on prop firms, sometimes that can be a better option, even if the long-term route is less profitable, just because it means that you've got a faster break-even time, in theory, with the win rates. So different ways to look at different performance scores there. But yeah, we'll have a plug-and-play version. I think the retracement option is maybe going to be better for that. Because once this line is crossed, it will sort of be like a get ready line where you can have an alert set that says, okay, we're looking for a retracement now, and it gives you a bit of a heads up on the fact that there's going to be a trade. Whereas this stop order version is sort of like, bang, okay, we're trading now, and you might not trade it as accurately compared to, you know, how active you are at the time. You kind of can just allow yourself this window of time that we know the entry's coming to just be focused on it, and it'd be fine. But you know, people vary, lifestyles vary, so it's good to have different options available that both work and suit different people's needs. So yeah, we'll have a plug and play and we'll have an algo for that as well. The GU low has just been taken out. So even if we targeted this opposite session range there, that would have just hit TP for a nice. If we're looking at the breakout option on a sell stop, this would have just been 2.4% trade. And then also, God, dare I even show the retracement option because it's not quite finished. Yeah, that works kind of good. I feel like this fib level setting isn't quite accurate though. See, that's supposed to be, oh, there you go. It's supposed to be the 61.8 and it is. So that is quite a decent example of how the retracement option will work. So retracement 61.8. So whenever it has that change of character, it'll then wait for a retracement at your defined level and then pull back. We could have actually got that on a 71 as well. If we look at the 71 option, which is my favorite fib level, sort of a made up fib level, if I'm honest. It's not really in the Fibonacci sequence, but it's sort of like the midway between 61.8 and 78.6. But that would have been, I feel like that isn't accurate. I feel like that is not the 71 there. Yeah, because, oh, actually now it's taking it from this high to this low. Because obviously that was where we got the 61.8 entry, but then, yeah, okay. This is working pretty cool. And that would have been, if we enter on that 71, a big 5.86% trade this morning from that. So that is a pretty nice plug and play entry and TP right there. Check that out. And that is coming in 56 minutes. So we've waited for the Asian high to get swept, had a change of character, waited for the 71% fib to get tapped us in on a sell limit, and then reversed all the way back down to that opposite range for a nice 5.86%. But yeah, this thing's looking sick. I just can't wait for it to be finished, really. The breakout option gets a lot more entries because sometimes that retracement won't happen, and where you could have bagged like a 2% trade, you just end up missing out because you didn't get tapped in. So I do really want to see which version of these is going to prove most profitable, because they're quite different strategies depending on your entry model. See what everyone's saying? But yeah, let me know if I'm oh fuck, mute that bitch. But yeah, let me know if the audio's bad or if we're lagging or anything, because I'm in a different setup today, so not really sure how we're looking. Has anyone backtesting this strat out of London as well? Out of London? No, I've not. I've not, but I believe you could definitely find a pocket of New York, and even a pocket in the Asian session that it would work. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the results of that for sure. The premise of this is basically you want to avoid the start of the session and you want to avoid the end of the session, because they'll have fundamental effects of people that are trading based on open and closes and stuff like that. So if you can analyze the direction of price after like an hour of open, you have the bias to kind of say that it's unlikely that price would have a change of character throughout that time. It's obviously possible, but it's a confluence that you can use for a bias as well. If you've got a method like the Asian sweep that provides you with a direction, and then you trade the continuation of that direction, that's kind of what it's built on. So I believe you can definitely do that within New York and also within the Asian session as well. So I'm really interested to see that. Something that is on my list, but it's kind of low priority. So if you guys want to backtest this and find a pocket of space that it can work on, then that's definitely interesting. And this is a strategy that I'm looking to automate as well. It's just a lot harder to program because it's very visual, and a lot of it is based on dynamic price movement rather than just like a change of character. Is quite easy to code because it relates to a fixed price level, and same with like highs and lows being broken. But when it's like a series of moving prices to do with the trend and the gradient, it's a lot harder to code because it's no longer just like a set level. It's an active like dynamic movement of price that you've got to consider. So it's quite easy to see visually and understand visually, but to tell a computer that is a lot fucking harder. So this is why I still manually trade this one and I haven't coded it yet, because it's fucking a lot of code required. So I'd rather get the easier ones out of the way first. But yeah, with that being said, this one has came in now, landed. Let's see. Oh fuck. Let's see how we're doing on the euro. So yeah, the euro one's a little bit more difficult because it's this low that we're looking to have break. So it didn't actually break that until there. And then see here, if you were looking for a retracement, I guess you would have looked for that high to this low, and it just didn't even come back to anywhere but that 38.2. Let's see what would have been needed for this. If we lower the fractals, we kind of need this to be recognized as a low. No, it's not liking that, is it? Oh, there we go, I just wasn't patient enough. This fucking Wi-Fi. Right, so that's recognizing that as a low. If we check 38.2, change that to retracement. Yeah, the retracement version is a little bit off for this one. That shouldn't be the change of character, it should be here. But yeah, it works pretty nice on GU, but like I said, this is still just the prototype. We've not actually released it yet, but you can see that the fundamentals are down. So this was pretty nice. I think for me, I would probably say catch a 50% retracement. Sometimes it's not the most sniper entry, but it's kind of that balance between catching more trades and bagging them profits when you can. But yeah, this was a nice little trade. Nothing really for me on the EMA strategy. Let's watch the euro because it's still trying to seek these lows. we're saying, people. Tumbleweed. Alright, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna pop up the euro view for some clickbait thumbnails, and I'm gonna pop on mute while we just wait for price to develop a little bit. Let me actually pop the EMA on this so I can watch that at the same time. Tell me all about this one. There we are. Let's go. Increase them. Increase them. Yeah, this one not finished yet, but you can see the power. Cool, let's leave that up. And I'm gonna go and oh, here we are. We've got more people in Carla Dragon. You like? Yeah, I know, mate. I know. There was that day. I think it was what, Wednesday, when I was flying. It looked like there was a double win opportunity. I believe you caught it. 3 point something R and then like a 2 point something R that I missed out on. So that was like a 5-6% day. Like, yeah, I'm gutted I missed that. And then to hop back on yesterday and catch a stop loss. It's kind of like deviating the edge, but it's just like humans are humans, you know what I mean? This is why algos are going to be superior in trading, because they just do everything for you. You don't miss anything due to being busy. But yeah, been a very good week for the strategy. I've just been traveling country to country, missing shit due to flights, but that's why we need the autopilot up and running for everything. But yeah, I'm gonna go on mute for a bit, get some background stuff done, and then we'll hop back on in a bit, see how this EMA develops. Do let me know. Actually, I'm not even going to say it because I know you guys are going to try pranking me and say it's not on mute. But I was going to say let me know if it's fucking not on mute, because I'm just pressing the mute button on my keyboard. I don't even know if it works or not. But I know what you guys are like. You'll probably say it's not muted anyway, little bastards. But yeah, I'm just going to fucking scran some chicken and rice. Yes, yes. Your boy is back. Just been having some chicken and rice. Don't know if anyone else is in here. Nothing really to trade right now. This lower session range has been taken out, so kind of want to wait for that to extend and be used as resistance before we keep selling that. So GU is probably off the cards at the moment. What I'd like to see is whether this can find resistance, break lower, and then catch a trade from here, like this. That's what we need, really. Let me take this and whack it on this screen like that, so you can see that's what we're looking for. But yeah, a bit of a slow one today. Let's check the news. 9 p.m. So that's what, 3 p.m. UK time. Yeah, no news, no volume. Bit of a slow one. Leave that on screen and see if we get that, but there's nothing really to cover with this one. A slow Friday one. You can see the rejection is forming from this EMA now, so maybe we'll have a setup in like an hour. Just have to wait and see, really. Okay, so we've got price testing the EMA here. Interesting to see if it does act as resistance and form that lower low that we need or not. You can see it's wicking from it instantly, which is good. That's what we want. We're not looking to short from here. We're already in the shorts up here, and we also basically want it to form a lower low to catch a short in this scenario as well. Granted that this acts as resistance and forms a lower low, then this will be on the cards for another trade. But kind of depends if this high gets taken. If this high gets taken out, then this is off the table. So we also need that high to still remain the high. Okay, so that high has been taken out, which now means that we're not respecting lower low, lower high structure. So we can just go ahead and remove that now. Let's see how this EU short plays out. Now, this is targeting the Asian low. If we were targeting a 2RR, it actually hit TP right there. Let's see where else we're at. 3R's just been missed. I think for me a good balance is somewhere like 2.5, maybe just a 2 for that higher win rate. But yeah, something we can test to see what really works the best. But yeah, that coming short of 3R is a little bit annoying. Let's wait and see if that gets hit or not. Okay, so it looks like even though we swept this high and broke the lower low lower high logic, it looks like it was just sweeping liquidity from that high to reverse to the downside. So this trade that we have is still on for the Asian session sweep. So we swept the high, sweeping that liquidity, changed character, and then caught shorts. So we are looking for this to continue down to this Asian low. We're trading a variation here that just catches a 1 to 3 at this take profit, but we can switch that to a view that takes the full range out if we want to, like that. In terms of my EMA intraday strategy, you could kind of say it's still on, but it's not an A+ trade for me because we have taken out that previous high and we have broke the EMA. But you know, there is other ways that you can look at it. You could say that this is now the lower high from a setup like this, but then even still you wouldn't be trading that from here. You'd probably wait for another one just to confirm that, because now this is only one EMA resistance on that 5 minute there. So a bit of a slow day. There's no real news happening right now, so there's nothing really driving the markets, driving the price. We caught a nice trade on the pound, similar setup. That's catching a 1 to 3, and then if we also looked at the full opposite range, that would have been like a 1 to 6, which is nice. But apart from this, there's nothing really going on for this EMA setup, and I might just cut the session short here, to be honest, rather than just letting the screen run. I do only have my laptop today because I'm out of the country on the move, so maybe we should just cut the live and say that we're not going to catch a trade, because I don't really think we'll get a trade apart from the ones that we've already called out here. So I think we should just probably cut the live. I'll check if there's any questions that I've missed. Don't think so. I think everyone else knows it's kind of a slow day as well. So yeah, I think we're done trading for the London session. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone who watches these videos. Make sure to subscribe to catch the next videos I put out, and I'll see you next time.